Did you like your video, Ian, that we did for you?
I was saying to Milo earlier, I actually don't recall it. I obviously have seen it because I've hardcore.
I don't recall it, Ian. How much stuff have you been sent with?
The whole of the last week is a blur, seriously.
I think for Patreon content tonight, we should get you to rewatch that video.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think that'd be fun.
Oh, I just need to decompress now.
Yeah.
And then start spending more money.
What's your decompression technique, Mr. Diver?
If I was diving, I'd do a safety stop at 3 meters.
Can you work that into different lingo for your real life scenario?
Yes, not making as much content as I want to for the next few weeks. Hey, I've still got 5 videos to edit. Seriously, guys. I recorded a lot.
You got the next month you don't have to film anything for the next month. You can edit now and release them over the next month. You'll sort it.
Yeah, but the things I do, because at the moment you've got every Pokemon in the game pretty much being able to spawn, with a few exceptions. So it's actually a fairly good time to make content, but I can't at the moment.
This is such a turnaround from the norm for Ian, because whenever we're at these live events, it's like I haven't filmed much content today, and then as soon as we all bugger off back to the UK and he's left alone, he's like, oh, I've got the camera out for everything.
Yeah.
Five videos, seriously 5 videos.
It's like more than that's a video a
Didn't
day.
edit 5 videos. I edited 1 from the previous weekend, but 5 videos to come.
Jeez,
You're brilliant.
Not all on the Pokemon
You just need
Go
to
channel,
not
I'm
see
mad.
people with cameras. You need to be the only person in the nearby vicinity with a camera, and then you'll film to your heart's content.
Well, in Vegas, I pretty much was the only person with a camera, but I wasn't going to your standard Vegas sites to see. ...
Yeah, ... Ian.
Awkward cricket.
But it's good to have the sun-kissed Vasa back, and we're all in the studio.
Exactly.
It's funny, actually, you say, because your lighting makes it look darker, Ian. Every time when you smile, it looks like Ross out of Friends when he has that spray tan. It's like...
There it is. Neon glow.
There it is.
I'm allowed to smile. It doesn't happen
We'd like
often.
to apologise to our gold tier patron members who can see this. Temporary blindness is a warning.
No comment.
It's nice to see you smiling, mate. Like I say, it doesn't happen often. It's nice to... I'm joking.
No, it really
I'm
doesn't.
joking.
Now he's the right side of Hawaii. He's much happier with himself.
The right side of Hawaii.
I was always the right side of Hawaii. I was in California.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually, Ian. That's very true. Ian is Mr. Happy.
Mr. Happy. On episode 265, we're back in the studio with the good, the bad, and the rubbish as we review Kalos Tour. Memories in motion and all March has to offer. And an in-depth review of Ian's dodgy RAM. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, listeners, to the Incensed podcast, where we ask you to
slap on the incense, boys. It's time to go.
So hopefully we can provide you with some Pokemon Go fortune. Here with you today is Ian, howdy partner, Fall. That was more West Country than anything else, but anyway. Master Knee 27 and I Can't Get No Sleep, Milo UK, as your host for 265. Gentlemen, it is wonderful to be back in the studio as a trio. It's lovely to see Ian's sun-kissed complexion.
There was the smile, there it was. Ian.
Actually written on the sunny side of the famous cop show. But how are we doing now?
I think we're doing okay for what has been a somewhat tedious week in terms of an event, which we'll talk about later. It's been a great week for me. I'm happy.
Happy Vasa. Yay.
Time will tell how long that happiness stays with him. We'll see how.
It's before the end of the show, he'll be back to normal.
Check back next week.
Week of UK living. Oh, dear.
He needs one chat about Kalos Tour and he'll be right back down in the dumps.
Check back next week. I like that. Oh, dear. How are you doing, Milo? You well?
Yes, all right, all recovered or so. I'm still probably sleep deprived after the weekend, but that's my own stupid fault that we'll get onto in the course of the episode. But otherwise, good stuff. It was lovely to see you on the weekend.
You make me laugh, Milo. Barry's not on the call with us tonight, not on the show tonight. He's just sent his apologies in, but he did say, he goes, that Milo's a bit mental, isn't he? And I went,
yes.
Why'd you say that? He goes, because he's done like over 400 raids. No one's got time to do that. And I went, Nah,
I beg to differ.
Milo's got time to do that.
I'll be honest, there was not an awful lot more to do at Kalos Tour, was there?
No. He's only noticing that because I did actually jump in a few of his raids.
Yes, he said that. He said he spotted you in there. He said he saw you. So
Oi.
I've heard a rumour, Milo, that you maxed out for 999,999 remote raids you could do over the weekend. So we'll talk about that later.
I wish, but
No, you don't. No, you don't.
no one does. No one does.
No, it was good, mate. It was good to see you. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, doing all right,
Absolutely.
mate. Yeah, doing all right.
Good stuff. I think we're in for a hell of a ride, listeners. So now that we're back in the flow, we'll get you listeners up to speed and how you can be a part of this podcast. Of course, you should have already.
Boy, you dirty dogs, drop your incense.
If you get something spectacular in the world of Pokemon Go while listening to our podcast, tag us. Let us know on our socials. We've got not quite a million billion of them, but the ones we do focus on are Instagram, X, and Threads and Blue Sky exist, but do we really check them? Maybe, maybe not.
What does X, based on our feedback last week?
Well, we still read them out. The day that disappears, we'll just be listing one social, but we do have some other methods, which are contact@incensedpodcast.com. That's a very useful email, and of course, a WhatsApp number that's going to be introduced by some fantastic AI thing.
You can send us a WhatsApp voice message on +44 759 269 5696.
Thanks, Joey.
Shall
Joey, any method you communicate with us, including a direct message through the podcast platform, if it has it available as a message service, make sure you include #Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling?
And we'll do this more smoothly than we did on the live show last week. Bless Kyle.
Oh, I hope so.
He did his very best. But it would be #SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And obviously tag us @IncensedPodcast as well, because it will make our life simpler and easier. With all that said and done, we've got a hell of a lot to talk about, not just past, but also future. So let's begin with the oldest stuff, and it's over to Ian for that.
Yeah, so we really do need to come back to a place that's very dear to my heart, Los Angeles, California, and talk about the Kalos Tour that happened not last weekend, but the weekend before, because on last week's show, we only really skimmed the surface by talking at our initial impressions, both from ourselves and our sort of peers within the content industry. And that was all within the first half a day. So we had 3 days to actually play this event. We also had the Mega Nights, which I was a part of all 3 nights technically, although the Saturday was kind of a bit of a blur, but we'll get into that later.
2.25, wasn't it?
2.25 for me, and you was like 1.25. Yeah. So all in all, let's have a quick talk, Whitfield, and then Mark can kind of come in and ask us his opinion, how it
Mark,
looked,
you're allowed
and
to
if he wants to know anything that we didn't.
It's not a lot to interject on.
Yes, you're allowed to interrupt. So I think from my perspective, and I don't think I'm the only one in saying this. I don't think I'm the only one. Kalos Tour was probably the weakest tour event that we've had of the last sort of 3 in LA. And actually the last 4, really, if we include Vegas, purely because Kalos's region just doesn't really lend itself to anything that's really that exciting.
This is true.
We had the introduction of 3 new shinies.
All of which were paywalled, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is the issue, and it's not just LA. It obviously feeds over into global, but in terms of LA, you chat to people. This is what happens at live events. Even the people that we were with as a group, and RNG can be a real cruel you-know-what.
It can, as we all found out. And I mean, let's start with, we were all raiding fairly hard. Let's look at this and sort of work our way through it. So the raids, there were loads of raids. There were actually, in my opinion, probably too many things to raid because it made it really difficult to actually focus on anything that you really wanted. We'd got new Megas, we'd got Legendaries coming back with backgrounds, we'd got Pikachus, we'd got Honedge. There was a lot to raid. And I think in a lot of ways, super duper Megas, I think in a lot of ways, it was too much. It was too much. And the shiny rates from said raids were awfully, painfully low.
They were pathetic, I think might be a good word to utilize. This is the other thing is, when you're focusing so much of the game event, and that's what we're talking about, is the actual game aspect. And I know we'll get onto global, and that's where Marky will probably agree with this, is that if you focus all your time and energy on like, these are the new things, you should go for this, and you're endlessly raiding and having to use a mega and burning shields on a super mega raid, and then I never got a shiny Malamar from however many raids I did.
I did.
Well, you got one with the background.
I didn't get the victory bell.
That was the other thing. Well, that was the flip side. I got a few of those, but I also feel like from an aspect of a game where you've paid through the nose to travel to it, you've paid a lot to get the actual ticket. I mean, obviously we didn't because #sponsored, we were all gifted the event ticket, thankfully. But if you've paid for the ticket and you've gone through the hassle of it, you've got all the expenses, the least they can do is give you a few more backgrounds and shinies, because you're paying for the item currency on top of everything else. You got the incubators and the raid passes, and that was all you needed to get anything that was new and worthwhile.
Because everything else in the wild was spread across the 3 biomes. There was 3 biomes in this tour, mainly because Kalos is a small deck. So really, if they'd gone up to 4 or 5,
there wouldn't be
biome.
Be like, hey, go and catch this one Pokemon in this biome.
So it was tough. There's no skirting around that. The location, absolutely brilliant. The Rose Bowl, probably one of the best locations that they've picked for one of these lives. The Rose Bowl is just so iconic and such a great place. It's flat, it's large, there's a big area to play around. It's just a pity that there was nothing really to make it stand out, except for Mega Knight, the surprise introduction of Mega Dragonite.
Yes, and I know that by the time we got to it, it wasn't a surprise because it seen on social media Taiwan Go Tour had theirs, and like, oh damn, okay. But anyway, the whole Mega Knight concept, I don't think I've experienced in all of the tours and the Go Fests the amount of excitement and hype that we felt at the Rose Bowl for when Mega Dragonite actually drops. People were cheering and going crazy and shouting, and
it was electric.
It was wild, absolutely crazy.
It was. People were having fun. I mean, it wasn't a surprise, but to a lot of people, not everyone's on socials. So when Mega Dragonite did spawn, there was an excitement. It was like the old days of the game. It felt awesome. And was talking with members of the PGO team, and they wanted Mega Knight to feel like a party. And in a lot of ways it did, because Glitch was DJing, absolutely fantastic. The music was amazing. The atmosphere was electric. Difficult to make content, especially in low light and loud music. But
copyright strikes.
The whole event was absolutely... You know what? They actually hit a home run with that one.
I do think the Mega Knight was probably the best bit about the whole LA experience, really, because it felt so unique and so new. And it was really, there were a few issues with it. I think that having 5-minute breaks in between all of these raids that took forever was
Didn't like the cooldown, especially since we had 15 minutes per cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a bit weird because what Ian mentioned with the music and content, you ended up with what felt like 2 split groups. You had the people who went off into the field to where Glitch was DJing and stuff, and it was very dark with all the fantastic party lights, and there were lots of gyms in this area. So people were there having a party. And then you had the people who were like, that's cool, but I want to raid all these things. And it was just like, it was like an ocean current of people lapping the Rose Bowl on the outside, doing all the mega raids. So you had 2 very different schools of thought with it, but everyone was in the same mindset of like, this is a good vibe. And it really was.
It was the best. If I had to give some constructive feedback, I think the fact that they put a big cluster of gyms actually near the DJ area, actually in the golf course, there was probably too many gyms too close to each other, which is great for raiding. It's not great for cell saturation. So there were a lot of lag issues, people getting barfed out of raids, and spreading them out just a little bit more would probably have been a wiser thing to do, but it may or may not have fixed the problem.
Yeah. But there is one big thing which really tickled me the wrong way, I would say, about the whole experience. And it's never, ever been an issue with any tour event, certainly the ones in LA that have had a dedicated city experience. The quests and things like that were not geofenced properly. Quite a lot of the Valentine's event quests from Pokestops, and even non-event, when you pick up something that says, give your buddy 3 treats for whatever godforsaken Pokemon is in that quest, you think, I've paid, or we didn't, but people would have paid possibly over $100 for a game ticket and the travel there and everything like that, and you're not delivering what is actually on the tin.
You're having to read the tags on each task to make sure you've got the correct one. And I think this is a prime opportunity to say thank you to the Pokemon Go team, because we were gifted tickets to create content for all 3 days, and it was hashtag sponsored. So thank you very much to the team. And obviously this needs to go down as paid content, but we're giving honest opinions. So I think really the Mega Knight is a win. The actual tour was tough. I mean, don't get me wrong, the set dressing was a lot better this year than it has been in previous years. It actually looked really good in the park.
The thing is, the Rose Bowl lends itself to
the
that.
fact that it was a lackluster.
I'd say the actual
generation.
place and experience was really good. Rose Bowl and the golf course never disappoints. But that's the problem, is the in-game content this time didn't match it. And no matter how many times you put Super Ultra Mega Malamar and Victory Bell out there, yes, people are going to raid it because it's basically the new thing, or Honedge, or whatever it is, or the different Pikachus. But, we enjoyed the live. The live show was brilliant. We'd like to say thanks again, anybody who joined us, the creator peeps, and the folks who joined for the chats and the live shinies of the week. It were absolutely epic. Really good vibes.
It really was. It really was. And here's to Alola next year. That one is going to be a good tour to be there for live. But let's see where they nominate as a location. Part of me thinks Hawaii, but that will alienate a lot of people traveling if they do put it in Hawaii.
Sorry, I've got some questions for you. So,
okay.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what you asked me to do, didn't you? So
we did. Yeah.
So, questions for someone who's not been to LA. Third time at the same venue. Boring for repeat people, or is it as exciting each time when you go there? Because I would get pretty bored going to the same venue 3 times. What's different about it? What keeps it fresh?
So there were different, what would you call them? Not pop-ups, or scenery and things like that. So you've got a slight different change to the visuals. So it's luckily not the actual repurposing going on.
The venue was dressed differently, and it was dressed really nicely this year.
I think there was a good blend of sort of new but familiar, particularly for us who've done it 2 years before. So it's we know exactly where we're walking, what the footpaths are. Actually, we had to be careful because it had rained a couple of days before.
Day one, it had rained really badly.
Yeah, so a lot of the footpaths were like a quagmire, really, because blame the golf buggies. They've been driving over the curbs of the grass and smushing it all. But in a way, it sort of lent a nice way to go, right, I'm going to try and experience some things, because we've not seen everything in LA. And I went to see some places and do some things I hadn't done the previous 2 years. So, yeah, good.
Yeah, and I second that. I never tire of this location. It's for an event in LA, it's probably the optimal place. It's iconic. It's got a really big golf course attached to it, so it lends itself to actually playing the game. And it's just a very, very chill place to be, and the vibe was awesome.
That's good. Sorry, I'm only asking what people have asked me to ask you guys. So venue okay, still worth going. So if it's there next year, you'd go back again then?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So it's obvious it was a poor event. Kalos Tour was awful, actually. What do you think about all the backgrounds? A lot of people complaining, say the backgrounds was ridiculous for this event. Do we think this is just
too many?
Do we think this is just coincidental with the scope tick taking over the game now? This is all kind of working like that now, or do we think this was because Kalos Tour was probably not the best one on paper, and this was them adding something to it to give people more to chase?
I think it's now become, unfortunately, what is the extra cherry on the top. They know for a fact that there are players out there who couldn't give less of a flying monkeys about what background is on their Pokemon, but there are plenty of people out there who would like one, particularly with the LA tag. And the LA background did look really nice, even though it was a sort of wider field of view.
Uncropped,
an uncropped version of what 2024 was. But there's something special about having the location card from where you once were.
I agree. Was that the only background available for the actual event then? So you didn't have all the other...
Yeah.
Cool, that's fine then.
Hot take, I wouldn't be upset if they just left location backgrounds for special events and then got rid of all generic backgrounds for the rest of the thing, because they're the ones that kind of kill it for me.
I agree to an extent, yeah.
And obviously, you've explained, you talked about your experiences. What do you think if you could pick one? I mean, Mega Knights were fantastic. I think that was the only thing from an audience perspective in content. That was the only thing that got me interested in it, was the Mega Knights. I like the Mega Knights, actually. I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah,
but take away the dramatize of it, take away the Mega Dragonite from it.
Yeah,
was it fun raiding loads of Megas that have been in the game for so long? A game coming out like that.
So that is the thing, which was funny when Chris asked us that very question on the live show said, were you excited for Mega Knight before you knew Mega Dragonite was coming? And you go, honestly, no, because I mean, at one point when we were discussing the original drop, I wasn't even going to bother. I'd be like, yeah, nah, go home.
I think we'd originally said we'd do the first night and then we'd not bother with the
something like that.
Nights,
yeah.
But
What was interesting is because how it was structured in LA, you didn't have what we had for Global, which was hourly rotating megas. You had a select few available over the whole weekend during the day, which were the likes of Gyarados, Gardevoir, Lucario, and I forget one or two others. But Mega Knight had the focus on all the Dragon type ones. And they were cycling every quarter of an hour. So they're on the gyms for 10 minutes, then there was a 5-minute break for whatever godforsaken reason, which didn't need to be there, really.
Is that just a
and
break it up, was it, sort of thing? Was it like a little...
Sort of to break it up, I guess. But you found yourself sort of stood around. Little extra thing, I didn't clock if this was on the articles for Mega Knight, but you actually had the spawns for the Dragon-type Pokemon there, so you could get things like Shiny Gible, and I got a Shiny Swablu, whoop-de-freaking-do. But they were there, so you weren't empty-handed waiting for things to spawn. You could actually just catch if you really wanted to. And you could still hatch eggs. You could still go for the eggs. They were live until 8 p.m.
They were live the whole time.
The whole weekend.
Spin them on the way home with the Go Plus Plus.
So really it was just an opportunity. If you wanted to try and get an LA catch card on some of these Dragon-type megas, then you could do.
Caveat that. The whole atmosphere around the Mega Knight, I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that Dragonite was there. Yeah. But despite any reservations that we had, with the DJ playing the music, Glitch did an absolutely fantastic job through all 3 nights. The music was good, people were enjoying it. Even if people don't like that sort of music, the whole sort of energy there was just amazing. Yeah. But we did see people getting really good shinies. We saw Shine T8s, we saw Shiny 96s, we saw Shundos with backgrounds. It was just what you want this game to be.
Mm.
And to actually be a part of that, it was really definitely worth being there for the Mega Knights.
I was going to say, did you do all 3 nights then, the Mega Knights?
I did 2 1/4. The quarter being on the Saturday night, because we've been in Santa Monica, and then we got back to Beverly Hills, and then we had to drive over. But then we had the idea we was going to get food on the way to Mega Knight, which really delayed us quite substantially. So we got back to the Rose Bowl at about 7:30.
No, it was like 7:23. So we literally had to rush it, and we were just in time for Dragonite at 7:30.
So I'm guessing your bowl day was the first day, then you were in the city where you're playing it for the days 2 and 3.
Yeah, so we did game day Rose Bowl on Friday, and then city stuff on the Saturday, Sunday.
Mega Dragonite, for however much we dissed it for it being like a pretty lazy design,
flappy Dumbo.
I think even I kind of liked it.
Flappy ears,
even I kind of like it. Sort of now seeing the game, and actually it gave me vibes of Mewtwo being dropped in that bowl in Japan for that first time. It had that sort of feel about it.
Somebody else out there made that exact same comparison, mate. I can't remember who it was, but he said it felt like watching those videos of people who went to Japan for the first ever release of Mewtwo. It was that crazy.
It did. That came across. It came across, and I felt that from watching it. So I think maybe that's something they can probably recreate in future events. Maybe I like that. I thought that was nice surprise. We can't control the time zones. Eternatus, well, Eternatus, like you say, that's a drop, wasn't it? No one knew about it.
Oh, I guess in wherever it was in Anaheim.
Yeah, I like that.
Dropped it early.
No one knew about Eternatus dropping. I think that was quite a nice surprise. I think I like that thing about them dropping something new like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, they're good guys. They're good. I enjoyed it. And let's talk about Global now.
Oh yes. Warm up. Let's go.
So I feel sorry for anyone who was out in LA who then had the chance to play Global, knowing what I know now, because hell, oh dear goodness, I went into this completely blind to what it actually involved, which I think was a good thing, because I actually was like, I don't know anything about this event. It's a tour. It's a global one. It'll be fun. I know there's not much that I need, but it should be okay. Didn't really read any of the details. Got over to Ealing to meet up with Milo, and we had some friends come over, and we met with the Ealing crew, majority of the Ealing crew. And that's when I sort of pulled up in the car and had a proper look at it and went, oh dear, what have I done? Do
you think you'd have stayed in bed?
No, I'd never have stayed in bed. I think you've got to go out and play these events to a bit. But I just think it kind of gave everybody an opportunity to get a share of just how poor Kalos is. Like you guys have said already, it doesn't really lend to a tour event in the way that the previous ones have done. And that's a shame, really. I understand the concept of why you've got Kanto spawns on a Kalos Tour. I get all that, but I felt like there was a lot of fillers in there, and it did feel very very lacking. Is probably the word I'd say. So
yeah, I've got to agree.
But I'm not going to go in about how I played it and all that, because it was pretty obvious how I played it. But listeners might not know. But Ian, what did you do first? Because we were in Ealing, me and Milo, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. What did you do for Kalos Tour, sort of global, mate?
Well, I played it totally different to how you guys played it. Really,
in the sunshine,
how you guys played it. So, well, firstly, I had the sunshine. It was about 30 degrees. It was lovely, almost 9 degrees. Very, very nice weather. I rocked up to Long Beach around 1 o'clock. Met up with a couple of other YouTubers.
Friends, Ian, friends.
Oh, friends. YouTube friends. And had the most relaxing, chilled Kalos Tour day one, really, I could have had. We only really started running around a little bit crazily in the last hour, and that was just due to a content video that we were filming. But my goals for global were not really wild spawns. I wanted to hatch another Howlucha, I wanted to hatch another Klefki, and I wanted the shiny birds. It was tough.
Where do we go with this, honestly? Because as we discussed, the whole Kanto decks, the whole Kalos decks, it felt like Kanto. There were so many damn Kanto Pokemon out there. And unfortunately, it's just because Kanto got a lot of megas. Yeah. The wild spawns, I don't necessarily mind the wild spawns, like just checking a bit of everything and seeing what goes on. But it seemed like they recognized that the Kalos deck / whatever's available in the wild isn't going to be enough of a pull. So they just went absolutely ham on all the raid bosses. It meant that basically there were actually 8 different raid bosses cycling every hour. You had the 2 legendaries. Then you had 2 super megas interchanging Saturday, Sunday with Victreebel and Malamar. You had 2 different costume Pikachus, Honedge, and there was something else I forgot. I can't remember exactly. Oh, the cycling mega that was always there.
Yeah.
The one that changed. 8 different raid bosses every hour. And you think that is way too many things, because then you go, there's a background for this and there's a background for that, and there's X and Y, and there's mega backgrounds, and then there's mega energy, and there's shiny rates. And as we've mentioned, the shiny rates for the raids seemed so bad.
Well, they didn't seem so bad. They were really bad.
Well, no, what I will caveat with this is that they weren't boosted. Certainly the legendaries weren't shiny boosted at all.
No.
They were definitely a 1 in 20 or whatever the regular is. That doesn't stop someone doing over 100 raids and not getting a shiny, which we've seen reports on. You think that's not Tour-esque at all, or it shouldn't be the case. What made it really irritating was when you look at how frequently the raid bosses go, there was no way in hell you were realistically going to be able to get enough checks of, say, for example, the specific mega of the hour to warrant getting a shiny, let alone a shiny with a background. And this culminated into a really weird split in the Ealing community that were playing. We had tons of people come over, which was great. Marky would have experienced this as well. We had sort of weird lingo groups. Some people were like, we're going to chase the Dragonite raids only. Some of us were like, let's go and do a bit of everything. Some people wanted to collect mega energy for various things they'd missed. Some people were like, I'm going to chase the Honedge. Some people were like, I want to hatch eggs. And all it did was weirdly fracture the people who were playing. And then occasionally you overlap with everybody and said, hello, how's it going? No, I haven't got anything. Right, see you later. It was a really strange
it was. That's a very good
way that it was played. Yeah, very peculiar. But I looked at this. I got a shiny Dragonite on the Sunday from a mega raid. And I was like, oh my God, at last. And I checked, and in everything I'd done that weekend, remotes, all the raids we'd done, I'd only done 28. I was in my head, I'm sure I've done like 1 million billion. But actually, it's just because you've done so many different raids over the period of time. Your RNG for each individual Pokemon is spread so far wide, it's almost impossible to get anything. And what I really didn't like is that almost seemed like what they were banking on, is that people would be chasing a bit of everything, not getting it, and continue chasing it, which I did. I made my choice and I stuck with it.
I mean, at a certain point, and we've said this many times over the years, you kind of have to. It's like Honedge. Getting the raid shiny was almost, I mean, it wasn't impossible, but it felt almost impossible because you were raiding it and it was just never shiny, never shiny, never shiny. You'd get backgrounds occasionally, but you just couldn't get the shiny. The shiny was a lot more available through field research, which is great. But again, no background or field research.
If you want the background, you want the background. I mean,
Exactly.
what was your standpoint, Marky? Because obviously, I assume you wanted to try and get a bit of Horlucha and Klefki action.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm done with the core event, global tour events with the eggs. I think like every time they come round, I look at it and go, it'd be a nice idea. I've got loads of incubators ready to hit it hard, and the egg drops are just ridiculous. Or these tour ones, I keep saying it every flipping year. Get rid of all the other eggs, just put 10s. Just make it very simple. Throw another couple of Pokemon in the 10s if they want to. Give 6 in the 10s. I don't care, really. Just give people 10s. No one gives the Flying Monkeys about 2K eggs on a tour event.
The 2Ks were
2Ks were
appalling.
dreadful.
What made it really annoying is that the exact same 2Ks have been exclusively available for the previous 5 days of the week. Like
On the
the
Road to
Monday
Kalos,
through to
yeah.
Friday of Road to Kalos, nothing else dropped except 2Ks. So why are they in over the weekend? Why?
You know, the Flababies, do you know what? I wasn't too annoyed about them. Just as I said, that
We need the blue, I guess.
Just as I said, that Sue's popped up. The majority of eggs with 5Ks didn't need
didn't
Flababy.
need Flababy.
That was good
Yeah.
timing, that was. No, I did need blue and yellow Flababies. So, like, when 5K eggs did occasionally come in, I was a bit like, I don't dislike that. That's not the worst
it's like
thing.
you could do with something.
Yeah, I might get something out of it that I need, so that's fine. I guess that's usually also what some of it comes down to. But yeah, I say at every tour event, global, this is just make the egg drops. Just focus on the 10s. That's where the good stuff is. People will buy the incubators. People walk further. I guess that's what they want. They want people to have to use more resources to keep getting through the lesser eggs to get more 10s. We know how it works. It did feel like a cash cow event, this global one did, though.
Really did.
Probably more so than I've actually probably paid attention to a tour event. It felt more like that. The sad indictment with this game, and I think that's the way it's going now. You know, and we won't talk about it now because we can talk about it on a show further down the line. But I was saying to some of the locals in Ealing, I was quite surprised how much this game's changed in the last 2 weeks. I couldn't believe how much it changed in just a 2-week window. We had flipping charge point things that you needed to put on a remote raid for a mega. Link things.
Link charges, yeah.
So, wow, what's that all about? You know,
I would just caveat that is an optional currency. You can still use
But
a raid pass.
if you're
or
remoting, you need both.
yeah,
you have to use both. Yeah.
you know, we'll talk about tickets on another episode. Like, sounds like they're going. Sounds like just feels like everything's changing in this game. I think when you have a really poor event like this, which doesn't inspire you too much, I think that's when you start to think about some of the other things that happen. And I felt my conversations were drifting that way quite a lot on Saturday when I was down in Ealing. It was the first time, Milo, and it wasn't and again, I'll say this, it wasn't the company, it wasn't anyone down there, but for anyone who thought I was a bit off, I just didn't enjoy it. It was the first time I've done a live event, and I actually was just glad to get home. I just didn't really want to be out playing it, and that's awful. And I think the game's losing me a little bit at the moment. And I did say that. I said, didn't feel the love for this at all. And all the things that are happening in it are making me feel like it's just going down pay to play now. I don't think you can have these free to play.
Pay to actually access things.
It just feels very weird at the moment. And, but yeah, how do we do on shinies for Global Tour? Let's talk about the event with a bit of positivity. Because I actually got loads of wild shinies. I was quite surprised. I ended up with like 32 wild shinies on the Saturday, which baffled me. Because most people were striking out on those. It didn't seem very good, but...
Yeah, I think it was how I focused on my gameplay, and it's something I'm going to take forward with me, I think, into future events, because I thought I don't care about the wild spawns. You know, I've got all I could possibly want really in LA, had a great time out there. I'm just going to go for the raids, see what we can get, go for the shiny backgrounds. And doing that and getting so little drove me insane. And then what happened was you end up looking and going, I'm missing all of these wild spawns. And in the interim, you're checking them and you're like, okay, I'm not getting any shinies from this. And Saturday was really like bumming me out. I left Saturday feeling like very deflated, having got very, very little. I didn't get a single shiny background from the whole of Saturday and all the raids we did.
That's mad.
So Sunday, it's all the different layers of RNG. Will you get a good one? Will you get a shiny? Will you get a background? In the case of the Origins, or will you get the exclusive move? It's too much reroll, I think, for the game. And on that note, I changed my stats really for the Sunday and thought, I'm going to try and pull it back on the raids. I'm going to try and do some more wild spawn checking because that's what I'm familiar with. And Sunday was a much better vibe, more chilled, just sort of like, right, if we go past the raid, we'll do it, but I'm going to catch my wild spawns and try and enjoy it. And it was better. I think in total I came away with like 50 something shinies from the 2 days.
Oh, nice. So there was a lot better then. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, I think I messaged Ian. He said, how's Kalos Tour going? And I said a lot of expletive words to him. And I said,
Yes,
I've
you did.
never,
Yes.
I never have had such a bad day as I did on Saturday in a live event ever. I came away with like just over 10 shinies from the whole day. And I thought, this is not a tour in my view, like at all. And thankfully Sunday.
For my gameplay, that's quite good though, Whitfield.
That is,
I know,
to be
but
fair, to be fair.
It's when you're like, I'm focusing on raids in a way.
Yeah,
Did
I think it
nothing
was
for
as well.
my, well, I don't want to say mental health, but my mindset. That's probably the better way of saying it because it's just something daft. But yeah, some shinies. What about you, Vasa? Starting at 1 p.m. probably
I like that, Ian.
hinders any hope of that.
Well, as I say, it's nice to actually play with people that have a very similar mindset to me with the game.
The
So
West Coast mindset.
yeah, they're playing California style. And don't get me wrong, the Long Beach community is absolutely fantastic. I think it's Justin, who's the community ambassador right there, has done a fabulous job of building up Long Beach. And you wouldn't even recognize it, Whitfield, from when we went 2 years ago.
Really?
So it's just crazy there in terms of gyms and everything.
Oh, that's good to
It's
hear.
absolutely awesome. So for me, any event isn't necessarily about shinies. It's about people. So to actually play around such a great community and with people that I've sort of built relationships with over the last few years, it's always nice. So my weekend takeaway is not going to surprise anybody. It doesn't surprise me, but I'm actually content that I got 13 shinies over 2 days.
I mean, given you skipped over half a day, that's actually
keep
pretty good going. Yeah.
So again, people are very obsessed with shinies, and don't get me wrong, we all like a shiny.
Yeah.
But the game isn't just about shinies.
No, it's about backgrounds.
For me,
It's about
it always has been.
It's about shiny
No,
backgrounds.
it's been about human interaction. For me, it's about human interaction, and obviously the actual gameplay is secondary in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I was content with the content that I got,
Yeah.
and all I will say is I got way too many shiny Furfrou.
Oh,
That's
don't
funny, I
say
didn't
that
get
to
one.
Shan. She'll
I
be.
didn't get one all weekend, not a single dog. But this thing, what was your first shiny of Global Tour, Marky?
Shiny Routes was my first shiny.
So your first shiny of Kalos Tour was a Hoenn Pokemon.
Yeah.
Ian, what was your first shiny?
Shiny Victory Bell.
Okay, so Kanto, but technically Legend ZA Mega.
Mm-hmm.
My first shiny, which gave Ash great amusement, was a shiny Pidgey.
Yeah, he did.
I think
Nice. That's a good shiny.
it's
though.
a good shiny.
Pidgey's a
but
cool Pokemon.
our 3 Pokemon right there, I think, sum up the biggest problem with not just the global, but the whole tour as an experience. Is it wasn't truly Kalos Tour. It was a weird amalgamation of let's bring some new megas with a brand new mechanic, which a lot of people fell short of actually completing reading online.
There's still a lot of learning to be
Yeah.
had with the ZA Megas, the Super Megas, as they are now known. People were going into raids without taking in an active mega, which then obviously, and we talked about this back at IRL, that if you're not taking active mega in and you've only got 7 or 8 people in your team, you cannot complete the raid. You can power it
physically
down, but the
can't.
chances of completing
Well,
are very, very difficult.
You can, but it will just take sweet amount of time.
Yeah.
The other thing that we saw people doing was that in the habit of normal raiding, you put your mega in the first slot, and if you do that, it dies, and then you can't when the shields get activated.
I was putting my mega in slot 3 generally.
I always put my mega always got put into slot number 6 because the game should automatically switch in the mega.
It didn't
Not
always.
always, but there was 1 or 2 circumstance where we had 15 people doing a Dragonite, and it had Outrage, and it was weather boosted. And when it switched in the
it's
Mega,
been one-shotting
it
everybody,
one-shot
yeah.
every person's Mega instantly. So nobody could get the shields down. And we're all telling people, all right, you've got to back out into the lobby, the orange lobby, then you've got to heal, and then you've got to jump back in. And then everyone jumped back in, and it killed us all again instantly. Like, this is moronic. Like, you can't physically get any progress. And all that's happening at this point is people getting frustrated. They just want to move on. They want to carry on with their life. It's still got some teeth.
So is this a new thing for this event, the shield mechanic then?
Yes, that whole super duper ultra awesome Mega
Kalos
thing.
Tour,
Yeah, it's the Kalos Tour debut of the Super Megas with Victory Bell, Malamar, and Dragonite.
So they're not normal Megas then, these are Super Megas.
They're Super Megas. They're this sort of
the ZA Megas, the new Megas
tier
are
of
Super
Mega,
Megas. Yeah.
which has a slightly different battle. Introduced the link charge item, which was good to be able to utilize, and you could utilize them on normal Mega Raids as well. I thought that was good. 150 link charges rather than the Green Pass, 200 for the Super Megas.
They're not really Super Megas, are they? Because they're rubbish, aren't they?
No, they are. Malamar is so bad as a Pokemon. Victory Bell's not exactly the best, and even Dragonite is... Yeah, all the Pokemon that were featured in Mega Knight are pretty much better Dragon types than Dragonite was.
Bless it. Bless it.
Well, that's true, but they're always going to introduce the more powerful ones later.
Yes.
We've seen this. We're still waiting for Mega Mewtwo, which may or may not come at Go Fest. They've said Mewtwo will be there. We know that already, but we don't know if the Mega will be out. So they're always going to save the better ones for later,
Yes.
but you always then run the risk of them being eclipsed by something else.
Yeah. It didn't stop the enthusiasm for people raiding it, that's for sure. But again, back to the point of that was basically the new mechanic. You had to hatch eggs, which were on Global particularly one of the most laborious processes you could experience. 3.3k for a 10. I don't know. I don't think I even hatched anywhere near like 50 eggs over the weekend, even with supers, and they were mostly 5Ks. And you think, this is, how on earth are you supposed to hatch anything from this?
We say that every year for Tour.
But I don't think it's been this bad. The eggs
We said
could be
that last year.
Well, no. I don't know. I have to listen back to what we said at the time, but I felt this one was particularly poor. Just for Global. Obviously, we had quarter egg distance for LA.
And that runs the parallel to the IRL. Unfortunately, with Kalos, it was never, ever going to be the banger people wanted it to be. And I guess, really, let's just hope Alola is better next year, because I think that one will be a really good... Yeah,
I think that's a fair comment, Vassar, and to be honest, it could only be onwards and upwards towards Alola Tour, hopefully, in 2027, really.
Unfortunately so.
More Pokemon, Ultra Beasts, and all that shenanigans. Maybe we'll get Z moves and God knows what, but let's package Kalos Tour, and we will not mention LA until we hear about it again, towards the end of the year, possibly. But we'll bookmark Kalos with a themed Flex Game.
It's my game. It's my game.
We're each going to take a turn of picking something related to Kalos, be it how many Bunnelby have you seen in your decks, or how many Horlucha have you lost, or I don't know. Like, pick and choose something from the Kalos decks, and it can be anything as ridiculous as you like.
Right, I'll use your one, Milo.
Go on then.
How many Bunnelby have you seen?
How many rabbits have you seen?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Go on, kick us off, Marky.
So I've seen 2,813 bunny rabbits.
Adorable. I have seen 6,887 rabbits.
Yeah, of course he has.
I've seen 2,803.
Oh, Ian!
So I lose. Yes.
Ian, 10 between us. That's what I like to see. That's our level.
That's the 10 you didn't see in LA.
Yeah. So Milo's seen the most. Milo wins that round.
I've seen the most rabbits. Okay, I've got to go there. Head to your Pokédex for Honedge, and I would like to know, what's the tallest sword you've seen? And I'll begin. The biggest sword I've seen in my Pokédex is 1.34 meters tall, apparently. That's a mighty sword.
Yeah.
My tallest is 1.04 meters.
So it's still over a meter. Goodness me.
And my tallest one is 1.15 meters.
Ooh.
So Milo's got the tallest sword.
I've seen, well, I haven't. Sue's pipped me by, what was that, 4 centimeters? I think.
What's 4 centimeters between friends?
What is between swords? Anyway, Vasa, bring it home.
Okay, I am asking, what is the IVs of your best shiny Dragonite.
Or ever, or
And I'll start my best ever. My best shiny Dragonite is 96%.
he's not fudging it.
No, there you go. There you go. It's flapping away. 96%.
Nice background on that one, Ian.
From the Mega Knights.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Milo.
Beautiful.
I've only got one shiny Dratini, and that is a Dragonite, sorry. And that's a 2-star one, so I'm not even going to tell you what the IV is on it. So you've definitely won that one, mate.
Yeah, Vasa does indeed win. I have 4 at 93 IV. So there you go.
In fact, the only thing
Vasa's King Dragonite.
The only thing I can flex in my one is the one I evolved is the one that's got the costume on it.
I was looking at my costume one as well. I was like, oh, it's got a bow tie and glasses.
Bow tie on it.
You've got a bow tie.
It's a shame that the Mega doesn't keep the bow tie.
Isn't it a
That's
shame?
Wishful thinking. It's such a
but
shame.
At least you get the bow tie back when it unevolves.
Imagine that. It removes the costume in the
Positive,
making
Ian.
process. It's gone.
We've got to look on the bright side of things, you know. There's always
The
a
bright
positive
side of
to
life,
everything.
as they said.
Always look on
Exactly.
the bright side of the bow tie.
Well, there we go. I think we can definitely, maybe we can put Kalos Tour to bed because we're going to find out what people have been messaging us through Ian's spare phone.
That he left in the UK.
Abandoned.
No, I took it with me.
Oh,
I took it to LA.
Oh, you took it? Did anybody try and call you?
You never know if you need a spare phone, what with the temperatures out there.
This is true.
Hi, it's AI. Hi, it's AI.
What are you
Smith,
doing?
And you can send Incensed Podcast a WhatsApp voice message on +4 47 59 269 5696.
Okie dokie. So this is the time where we actually get to listen to you guys that want to share a few things with us. And we've had 3 WhatsApp messages this week.
Nice.
First up, Icy373's been back on.
Hello, Intense Boys. I hope y'all's Kalos Tour was really good and that y'all got some good stuff. Hopefully all of y'all
Sorry to
got some
disappoint.
shiny backgrounds too, which is obviously the main chase for not just the whole weekend, but the week itself beforehand. Attached there are my submissions for the hashtag shinies of the week.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, my luck with the shiny backgrounds was not too great. I got plenty of shinies, but
Yes.
I didn't get any shiny backgrounds until the Saturday of the actual tour weekend. And I was raiding every day besides the Johto day. And I got shinies with no shiny backgrounds until that Saturday. And I
That's
got a
common
shiny
theme.
background Charizard, which I traded for the shiny Absol with the Tainan background
Ooh,
on
nice.
Saturday. But heck yeah. I hope y'all's Kalos Tour ended up being really good.
Thank you very much for sending that in. Appreciate it. And yeah, those
And
backgrounds
yeah,
are
I
tough.
think we all, in our own way, had a good time. Yeah. And speaking of having a good time, PayPal Simone's been back on.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's what we want.
Yours PayPal Simone upon the end of your phone.
Poetic.
Just finished Kalos Tour. My legs are hurting. Covered about 40 kilometres over Saturday and Sunday.
Good
And
man.
I've been royally mugged off by RNG. Not a single
Yeah, we all
shiny
did.
from raids. Nada. Also,
Yeah.
cooking eggs
Yeah.
like an egg chef. Loads of eggs going off and not a single shiny from the 10Ks. I think I got one Flababy from the 5Ks. Yeah,
That's how they get you.
absolutely rinsed my bank account on incubators. The whole shebang, like went hard. Ended up with about 15 shinies in total across the 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think did some remote raids as well on a Saturday night. Not that many. I think I did 10. I just thought, nah, after that, because it just wasn't happening for me, boys. Just wasn't not happening for me. But never mind. This is the game we play, right?
Yeah.
The highlight of the whole event was that there was 3 of us, me, Barbara, and my friend Matt, who had previously been saying that Milo was his favourite content creator. Sorry, Mark and Ian. Doubt he's ever heard of you boys. Full-time algorithms, you know what I mean, all that. I mean, you guys are brilliant. I'm pleased
You could help,
take that
Simon.
with humour and love it was intended. But anyway, the three of us were doing a Xerneas raid and Milo joined. And you should have seen the joy on young Matthew's face as he figured out that Pogo Milo UK YT was in the lobby with us. So yeah, thanks Milo. That was really
Thanks for
kind
the
of you.
raid.
Not sure if I randomly invited you or if you just piggybacked in, but either way, mate, that was awesome. Yeah, well, it's all done now, isn't it? We could all go back to work, apart from you. Yeah, just live off the old bread and half-eaten jar of jam we've got in the back of the cupboard because we spent all our money. I hope you all did better than me. Ian, I really hope you did good. I really hope you did good. It upsets me when sometimes you feel like you've not done as well as other people. But I sort of know how you feel
Happy
this
batter
weekend.
this week.
And Mark, I'm sure you and Ash had a lovely time. Bye now.
Do you know what makes me laugh is you said the joy on Matt's face when Milo was in the red view. Was that the same joy that Barbara had on her face when she saw me down in Portsmouth, Simon? She preferred me over everybody else, including yourself.
It's a nice hark back to 23.
He's brilliant, and he's so funny. But like, Simon, actually, we didn't talk about the eggs actually, specifically on tour. So I hatched one shiny on the tour. It was actually a 10k shiny, but it was a Kanga, which was absolutely joyous.
Oh, great!
Did you bother? Because you had really good luck.
I was
on
hatching
LA.
eggs because I did want more Klefki and I wanted more Howlucha, and I did hatch one Mexican bird.
So you actually got the Mexican bird.
Well, I got it in LA, but I also got it on Global as well.
Nice. So Marky and I got a kangaroo per piece.
I was royally screwed with Kangas, though, during IRL, if you remember Whitfield. I think I got 3 of the damn things.
You did, and a hundo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I did actually hatch a shiny Larvitar in the process of the weekend as well from a 2K, which I very much turned my nose up at.
That'd be like when I got my shiny Giblet at Mega Night.
Yeah.
Really, it didn't make the cuts, yeah?
Yeah, nah. But thanks, Simon, for sending in the message as always. Appreciate you.
Which brings us to our last message of the night, and somebody that played the game with you guys on Saturday. Josh has been on.
Josh!
Hey boys, I've just woken up for day 2 of Kalos Tour, but I just wanted to thank firstly Mark and Milo. I had a great day in Ealing yesterday.
Good to have you with us.
I'm playing more local today. Mark, I did just want to tell you, I got another hone edge.
Of course you did, Josh. Of course you did.
Rub salt into the wound. So,
thanks for letting me know, though.
Yeah, I hope you are doing well, Ian. I hope you enjoyed LA and America in general. I don't actually know where you went. And I'm sure I'll see you in 4 months' time.
That's probably not far off the money, to be honest. I did have a great time in America. It's one of the first times, actually, where I've been out there in recent years where I was literally having the best time and just didn't want to come back. So came back to Blighty and already in my head, the cogs are turning. Chicago, 4 months' time. Tick, 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 tick.
He loves life in the UK, does he?
It's every waking moment. How can I get out of here?
Yeah.
Well, we agreed between the three of us that we're going to stay away from politics. I'm not going to go there, but there's not many great things to be happy about the UK for at the moment.
Yes, true.
Let's be honest.
Back to it. Thanks very much for sending in the WhatsApp message. And yeah, it was good to have you with us as always for this is a Saturday.
Yeah, Josh told me when he got the first shiny Honage, and then he told me when he got the second shiny Honage. So it's nice that he told me when he got the third one.
Oh, that was the third one?
Yeah, well, you know, it's like Milo. Some people get everything in life.
People
it's normally you, Whitfield, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I didn't get the shiny Honage with the X background, thank you.
Your Pokemon
I didn't get
privilege.
a shiny Honage with a background.
I didn't get a shiny Honage full stop yet. So, yeah, there we go.
We've got various different spares. When we actually do go lucky, Marky, because that was one of the stupidest moments. Like, I genuinely had it in my head that Mark and I were lucky friends. And I suggested, I'm not going to say what it was, but I suggested a very stupid lucky friend trade. I'm literally going to record a clip. I open up the friends list and we're not actually lucky friends.
We're not lucky friends.
You and I went lucky within days.
Yeah, literally days.
We're back to being lucky again.
Yeah, it's so weird. I was like, I was going to sworn we were lucky friends, but no, it must have been like just thinking podcast podcast co-creator.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm lucky friends with you both.
Everyone's getting lucky now in the game. We might one day, mate. So
it's got to
we'll be
happen
all right.
for sure. But speaking of getting lucky, boys, are we going to be lucky with a brand new season?
It is. It's the news.
In the news. So the new season, which we are currently many days into already, you probably are aware, is called Memories in Motion. Actually brings a lot of changes. So have you boys seen what is coming up with various different updates and things like that? I think Ian's already made mention of like many things can be shiny now. Firstly, we'll see how this one plays out. Pokemon Go event pacing will be adjusted to a more regular schedule.
Which is better, so hopefully events will run from the same sort of days to the same days on a weekly basis. But again, that again does bother me in that, is it going to be constant events now? Because when there's no event on, it actually feels more like an event these days.
Weirdly, we've been saying that for years, actually.
Yeah, I think there are too many events, so that, again, could be a red flag. But we'll see. I mean, it could work out for the benefit of everybody. And weekend events are now just going to move to Saturdays on your local time as well. So
Mark, you've got your wish.
Hopefully we're going to get Sundays off, yes.
Yeah, all Saturdays. That's good, though, because for us anyway, it lends to us, traveling and meeting up and doing an event together. Sunday's never really been the best day just because you're kind of like end of the week, want to get back at the groove, get prepared for Monday, moody Mondays. But there is an interesting one which Marky made mention of, is about the paid tickets of the Go passes.
I spoke about it earlier, but yeah, I mean, I don't really understand what this is going to look like for people moving forward. But paid tickets are going to be going, and we're going to get Go passes. So yeah, we'll see how that lands in the game when it starts. But if you read it on sort of face value, it sounds like that nice, warm, glowing feeling you get when you gift someone a ticket's probably not going to be a thing of the future in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what these Go passes actually look like. And again, are they going to be more premium prices for these Go passes? We're speculating. I'm certainly speculating by that comment.
Well, we can guess with the one that's currently active. The 30th anniversary has a deluxe Go pass for it. It's the first event, which has been going this week. And
yeah,
if you want to buy the premium Go pass for it, it's basically £8. So it's already way more expensive than any in-game ticket has ever been, apart from Global Go Fest and that sort of thing.
Well, it is, but that does gift you Pokemon for everything.
It does. You do get more bang for your buck. Like, you get a lot more stuff, and it varies depending on the Go Pass. But as Marky mentioned, you can't gift someone a Go Pass.
Nope.
So it's very much goodbye gifting a ticket, and hello to send us more of your own money.
It's going to be the last time I mentioned it on this show, but I think we will have to deep dive this further. This has just got so pay to play now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like £8 for a deluxe Go Pass ticket, and like you said, you can get Pokemon encounters, but they're not special. They're just like Kanto, fully evolved Pokemon. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like ridiculous.
I think this one's a bit
ridiculous.
skewed because it basically gives you the entire Kanto dex, and 50% of it is in the premium track. Luckily, you get the Mewtwo encounter for free, which is good. But that's it. You don't have to spend the premium.
No, you don't. But they're working on the fear, aren't they? Of like
FOMO.
of trying to get that FOMO thing, aren't they?
Just looking at that pass specifically, don't worry, folks. That I hope you didn't feel the FOMO to have to get yourself a Sand Slash.
Yeah,
amongst other things.
I guess it could all be shiny potentially.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, absolutely. The only other thing to mention regarding the updates to Pokemon Go events is later in the season, trainers will have access to an in-game event calendar with the latest information. Now, if that's true, that's really good.
Yeah, you'll be able to plan when you're playing, and you'll be able to plan your strat.
That can be helpful, yeah.
Which leads us into, and we touched on this at the end of last week's live, Spotlight Hour, RIP, RIP. Because every day in Pokemon Go now, we've got daily discoveries. So we'll start with Sunday, because Sunday's the first day of the week, and Sundays are going to be double time Sundays, where Incenses, Lure Modules, Glacial Laws, basically all of your Lure Modules, as well as Incense, will last for twice as long when activated on a Sunday.
That's brilliant for our podcast drops.
Yeah.
That's actually really, really good timing. Thank you, Scope Tick.
They've listened.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scope
But
Tick.
there's no events on Sundays.
No,
so
exactly.
You can have that bonus, but you haven't got an event to use it in. So
get double mossy lure duration, but there's no event going. Maybe there is. Who knows? But yeah,
Who knows?
Monday sees two different things. There's Fast Track Mondays, which is 2 times go points from the pass, tasks for both monthly and event passes. So basically, you can double stack if you're playing on a Monday. Not that a massive amount of people will do, I guess, because Monday's always been the kind of free day of nothing happening. But of course, Max Monday, it's still very much a thing. Power spots are going to refresh more frequently, so hopefully that means like 30-minute timers rather than 60. And additional power spots will be active on Mondays compared to the rest of the week. And max battles will rotate to feature different Dynamax Pokemon. I should hope so. There you go.
Well, yeah. If you're going to miss your Tuesday fixer spotlight hours, don't worry. You've got something equally exciting potentially if you chase this. I don't know. Is that a good thing? We've got Showcase Tuesday, featuring up to 20 different categories. Maybe smallest might finally get its time to appear at a showcase. But it says log in to find out which Pokemon you can show off.
Yeah, we'll just give a caveat to that. If you hadn't seen during this week, the showcases seemed to run for 12 hours. They went from midnight to 12 noon, and that was it. So you got 12 hours to whack your Pokemon in and hope for the best, and you get very mid rewards for that. But by the by,
Yep. Wednesdays remain pretty much unchanged, so raid hours will continue with your 5-star raids and mega raids, and raid hour continues to be 6 till 7 p.m. local time.
Ooh yeah! And now it's my favourite kind of event: Go Battle Thursdays. Oh Christ alive! It's 4 times Stardust from win rewards. This does not include end of set rewards, just to clarify. That's what they've said. And the maximum number of sets you can play per day will increase from 5 to 10 for a total of 50 battles. So you can do twice as much GBL if that's your bag.
Which it is our bag now, isn't it? We're fully embracing.
We're all kinds of
everything.
bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, bags of everything.
Bag for life.
And then on Friday you can get bags of friendship because
friends.
Friendship Friday. Friends. You get up to 2 special trades on Fridays. You get an increased chance of a lucky trade for any trade made on a Friday. You get up to 10% Stardust cost for trades. Less 10% Stardust cost for trades. Up to, it could be 6%, could be 3%. And you get 2 guaranteed. And you get 2 guaranteed Candy XL from trades for any trainers that are level 31 and above. And they only apply to in-person trades.
Not
if you're like a
remote.
forever
Yeah.
friend, that isn't going to work, unfortunately.
That's nice. It's nice to see that because they had the trading Sundays a little while back.
They did. I think 17 people did that.
And those 17 people had a really good time.
They're all in Walpole Park.
Everyone in England.
Yeah. Other places to play Pokemon Go are available.
Yes.
Anyway, I would like to just add, we touched upon this earlier in the show, but for this month, or for this season, I would say, and potentially longer, we'll see how it works out. You'll be able to encounter shiny Pokemon in the wild, which you've already been able to do, but all Pokemon that can be shiny can spawn in the wild with a few exceptions, and they all do have the possibility of being shiny, including evolved forms.
And it's also worth noting that Pokemon that are coming from Team Rocket grunts, if they've had their shiny debut, can be Shadow Shiny, and they're more likely to be shiny from Team Rocket leaders and Giovanni, apparently. So I think that's the big thing people are latching onto is after 10 years, finally, if you find yourself presented with an Ivysaur, as they've put on the picture there, you could have a shiny Ivysaur. It's about time.
Yep.
Honestly,
absolutely. We get those rare encounters. You want that chance, don't you?
Well, it's like any time you do a special research, be it masterwork or a timed thing, and you have you used to have a ticket, you won't have a ticket anymore, but you encounter something like an Ivysaur, and you think, why on earth have you put that in the encounters? Because it doesn't even have a shiny potential. Now it does.
Yeah.
Finally, at long last.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
So we'll jump into March content, and I'll start with the Max Battles. He's also the same for the Max Mondays on the first day of the cycle. But these Dynamax Pokemon may appear, may appear on throughout Memories in Motion. There's a lot of Mays in this. So anyway, March, well, it's not any Mays, he's all in March. March the 2nd to March the 8th, we've got Rookady. March the 9th to March the 15th, we've got Pikachu. And then we've got March the 16th to March the 22nd, Phalanx. And then we've got March the 23rd to the 29th, Regice, followed by March the 30th to April the 5th, Woobat. And of course, the Mondays of those weeks will be the Max Monday featured Pokemon. Yay. So mixed bag there, I think.
Yeah, speaking of mixed bags, actually, no, I retract that. The raids, the tier 5 raids for March actually look pretty solid. I'm gonna go there. March the 4th to March the 10th, we know that we've got the Kanto birds, so Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres in raids. And then from March the 11th through to the 17th, we've got Zacian, and that will be followed by its partner in crime, Zamazenta, between March the 18th and 24th.
Okay.
Then to round out March, we've got Regieleki on the 25th through to the 31st. They each will have a raid hour. So on March the 4th, you've got all 3 birds in rotation. March the 11th will be Zacian, March the 18th, Zamazenta, and March 25th will be Regieleki. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, they will be between 6 and 7 p.m. your local time.
I got to agree. I like seeing the Wolves back, the Gen 8 Wolves. But moving into the events, on the actual infographic, there's a lot of question mark ones, but we now know what they will be. So we're just going to top line these. We will have already been through March the 3rd to the 9th. That was the 30th anniversary celebration event with Kanto galore and then the crazy weekend. Hope you've all had a fantastic time. Don't forget to tag us if you do get something awesome from that event. But March the 10th to the 16th has been revealed to be a Pokecopia or whatever it is, Switch 2 game crossover event, which we will just dive into on the article because we know that I like a costume Pokemon, and it brings in 2 amazing costume Pokemon of Ditto in 2 different hats. It's absolutely beautiful in a cap and a hat. March the 10th at 10 a.m. your local time through to March the 16th at 8 p.m. your local time. Ditto's disguises will be changing up. There's going to be wild encounters of Pokemon that are featured in the actual games like Sudowoodo, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Pikachu, and Zorua as well. The event bonuses will be 2 times XP for spinning Pokestops and 10 times XP if you somehow find a Pokestop you've never spun before in your local area. Wonderful. And don't worry, there's a shiny boost for Sudowoodo and Zorua. There are some raids as well, Lapras, Snorlax, and Dragonite in 3-star raids, field research, time research, collection challenges, and a lovely avatar item of a Ditto mask, which is something you could probably go to sleep in. I would have liked that on my flight home from LA, to be honest. So it's a costume Ditto hunt, that one, to be honest. Very best of luck, folks, for that grind.
You did forget about stickers, though, Whitfield.
Stickers? What are the stickers, Vassar?
Well, they're just...
Oh, my God.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Actually, they're very, very relatable to the game. You've got the mossy Snorlax. You've got the Tangrowth, Professor Tangrowth, I think it is, something like that. And you've got the character from Pokopia. Honestly. Pokopia. As a game, I think it looks fantastic. It's like Animal Crossing meets Pokemon. People are going to love it. So
is that coming out?
That's coming out. Is it coming out tomorrow? Well, by the time you listen to this episode, a couple of days' time, or a couple of days ago, should I say. That's sort of the first major event, I'd say, of March.
So that moves us into March's Community Day, and it was announced a while ago now, but Sunday, March 14th, so really next week, we've got Scorbunny in the spotlight for its Community Day. Its usual hours, 2 to 5 p.m. It has the featured attack, Blast Burn, which is really no one's surprise by evolving Raboot into Cinderace, and there will also be the Pyro Ball attack availability for if you want to use it for the baguettes. There will be a ticket for this one, so tickets haven't totally gone. $1.99 will give you the chance to get a ticket for this bad boy, which will give you 3 encounters with Scorbunny that have a special background, although backgrounds have said too common these days. Encounters with additional Scorbunnies, a premium battle pass, and rare candy XL, as well as even more goodies.
Wonderful.
Event bonuses for this one: Milo's favourite 1/4 egg hatch distance.
Why is the not in the eggs now?
Typical.
During the event, 2 times candy for catching Pokemon, 2 times chance of Trainers 31 level and above getting candy XL, and just your usual things: snapshots, lure modules, etc., etc. And trains will cost 50% less dust. Yes.
Incense. Unfortunately, we won't be in your ears with a new episode on that because it's a Saturday Community Day.
It is.
But if we didn't think backgrounds were good enough, don't worry, that lure module special background thing is still active. So backgrounds and backgrounds
Yeah,
and
that's still a
backgrounds.
thing this month. Yeah.
More backgrounds.
Collect backgrounds on all your Go things. Oh dear. Well, there we go. That's the events we're going to cover for this show. We do know about other events, but we are going to pick up on those. Details already out on the Bug Out and the Replay Research Day, but we will pick up on those nearer the time, so they're more in your muscle memory leading up to those
More
events.
in your muscle beach.
Muscle Beach, maybe.
That's true, Mark. And we'll also pick up on the big GoFest news next week because there's a lot to go through and we don't want to just bore you with endless drivel about everything that's coming.
3.5 hour show.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the big news about GoFest 2026 next week. And actually, I'm hyped, genuinely looking very, very good.
So we also have, for the end of the March content, we've got Mega Raid Bosses. Yeah, interesting mixture here. We've got Mega Pinsar, March the 4th to the 10th, followed by Mega Steelix from the 11th to the 17th, Mega Slow Bro from the 18th to the 24th, and my favourite one, which is actually decent, Mega Houndoom between the 25th and the 31st of March. There we go.
There we go, indeed. To be fair, we didn't see any of those over Kalos Tour. They weren't included.
We didn't talk about the Shadow Raid either.
Well, do you want to quickly mention that Shadow Latias is back again?
There we go. We've done it. Sorry.
Why?
It could be worse. Not a lot.
Yes,
granted.
it could be Dynamax Regice. It
Yeah.
could be a lot worse.
And that is coming, guys. We've already talked about
It
that.
really is. But I think let's pass all that and leave it as it is because I'm sure there are plenty of incredible catches waiting for us in our favourite section. It's been 2 weeks since we looked at the socials. Let's see what's on there in...
Oh, for sure. It's Snoop, and it's time for my favorite section, Shinies of the Week.
Shinies of the Week.
There's a few, Milo.
As we're scrolling through our various social media, there are a lot, but I would be a fool not to pick this one out because I've never been more jealous of someone's catch than this. Ben O'Leary on X, at Incense Podcast, so sorry at Pokemon UK. I have to flex this, hashtag Shinies of the Week. And he got the Shundo Sceptile with the mega background on it. And I just think that's why you want the shiny with the background. That thing just looks insanely cool. I mean, congrats, yes.
Congrats,
I will envy you to the end of time.
It would have been better if it was a Trico with a background on there, wouldn't it, Milo? Even though that's physically impossible. But that would have been...
But if you could devolve Pokemon, that would actually...
Devolve the Pokemon. Can I have the candy back, please?
So I've got a couple of shines a week here. We heard from him earlier, actually, in the WhatsApp message. So Icy did send his nominations for shines of the week, and he sent me quite a few, actually, through here. So during Kalos Tour, Icy got the shiny 98% Kyogre, which is fire. Love that one. A Hundo Pikachu, nice. A very good shiny Victreebel, but I think the one that he says Milo will be the most jealous of, Icy also got the Sceptile with the background. 2-star. It's not a Shundo, but it still looks amazing.
It does look so
GG's.
good.
Yeah. Oh, and shiny Klefki as well. Oh, shiny Hot Edge.
Oh,
shiny
quite a few
Palkia with the background. Oh my god, Icy got loads. Well done, man. Well done. GG's.
Yeah, talking about people that got very good luck. Callum at CJW93 has messaged us on X at Incest Podcast. Had a great week catching shiny scatterbugs. Up to 10 different pavilion patterns now. Shinies of the week. Yeah, got two shiny. If you look at this, two shiny scatterbugs very recently, certainly within the last 24 hours. And look at that now, a collection of 10 different shiny pavilions. Polar one looks amazing. And also a scatterbug and a Spewpot to boot. So 12 in total on your journey. Well done, man. That is amazing.
That's a seriously good collection.
That's an amazing collection to get all those different types like that. That's rarer than, that's probably the rarest ones to get, I guess.
So my second shine of the week is from the Incensed Campfire, and Lucy Bulb's been on with the hashtag shine of the week. Took 3 raids, shiny and the background, and it was from the road to Kalos, and it's the shiny Articuno with the background, which I love that one. That is so good. So good. GG's.
Team Birdie. That looks fantastic. Gonna jump now into the Patreon exclusive Discord with a good friend, Jedi Knight from the bronze tier. Now, this is from, I think, the tour, but it's technically from those post-tour raids. Definitely a highlight of the evening. A mate wanted to Lucky Mirror trade background Roar of Time Dialga if I got one. As soon as I got it, went straight over to the trade. Both got the same CP of 2881, a 13, 15, 12. Improvement overall, but at least it's sorted or whatever. And it is well, it would be lucky, but it's a shiny Roar of Time background Origin Dialga. I think those two backgrounds on the Origins are some of the best artwork they've put in the game, honestly. So huge congrats on that.
I like that combination. It pops off, doesn't it? Very
it
nice.
Really does. And somehow aligning not just you, but your mate to get a shiny background with Roar of Time.
It does mysterious things.
Honestly,
it's a task in itself.
It really is.
Yeah, and we'll wrap up Shiners of the Week. I've got one here from Gabriella. That's at Gabriella B, 1982. Kalos Tour brought me a shundo. Might drop moment there. Should I give it a trim or just let it be? I kind of like the Furfrou, just as it is. Yes, the 4-star shiny Furfrou with a 905 CP.
That's a really good pull.
It is. I kind of like it as without the trim on it. It looks. I do kind of like just Furfrou
standard
as it is.
Furfrou.
Yeah. I like that. Lovely catch. Well done, Gabrielle. And thank you everyone for getting in touch with us. It was a lovely.
Absolutely.
And the people we didn't read out, please keep sending them in. When we have big events like this, it is nice to get more volume, and usually people have more luck. But yeah, keep sending them in. Please keep sending them in.
We saw some absolutely amazing catches and trades, backgrounds, shiny collections for the weekend. Thank you, everybody who sent them in. And please continue to do so, because we are going to conclude episode 265 with it right here. Tag us at Incensed Podcast, like many of you have been doing across the socials. You can even send us a DM on Instagram. That would be splendid. Send them to contact@incensedpodcast.com, or send them through, like Ian received, the WhatsApp number would be a splendid way to get in contact with us. All manner of shinies and catches and things like that. We love to see them. And hopefully you have enjoyed this episode. If you have done, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast, because a fresh episode always drops on a Sunday, even if we're away, traveling on a plane, God knows what. There is always a fresh piece of content on the Sunday dropping for you to listen to.
There really is. We never miss a week.
Because we never miss a week, we'd like you to send us a 5-star review. If you like what you listen to, that would be awesome. And hopefully if you can write a review as well, we might be able to read it. We occasionally check those, like every 4 months.
Couple of years. Yeah, a couple of times a year.
We had this review from 2022 and what's going on. But yes, thank you very much, everybody who gets involved in the podcast. And we wouldn't be here doing what we do in the manner that we do it were it not for our fantastic Patreon supporters. Everyone who's on the bronze or the and the gold. Because without your support, we wouldn't be able to make this sound as crisp and as polished as it does. And hopefully you do enjoy that. Thank you all of the bronze members who get involved with the community and everything like that. We really appreciate your support. It's a good bedrock, as we always say, to build upon this podcast. A shout out to all of the wonderful members who are KLXVI, Del Hazard, Spindiana, Laurie Beck, Steve in Norway, CC is Mad, Saul Haberfield, Lizzie George, Xander Van Driesa, Neo,
Neon, not Neo.
Kate,
Neon,
Pink,
Neon.
Net, Kate, Net, Kate,
Neon,
on,
not Neo.
in. Thank you. Ellen Rushton, James Alexander, Northern Soph, Tom Cattle, Charlie Todd, Robert Wilson, Malcolm Grinter, Geordie Castell, The Hot Weasel, Shiny IKEA Mom, Tony of Pride, Junho, Malcolm Burgess, Mr. Jackal, Littlest Sparkle, Zontok, Alex with 2 L's. That's not the full name, that's just us clarifying the spelling. DJ Meaty Mead, and finally HRH Kaylee. Thank you to all of you fantastic members, and a special shout out to our favorite Dutch tier of gold members who get to witness the chaos and the live recordings here every Tuesday that we do them, unless of course it's the live show. But we will be saying there's actually a bunch of behind the scenes of the live LA show we're going to put up on Patreon as well, so definitely head it over.
There is. We filmed a lot this year.
Yeah, so definitely head over to our podcast Patreon if you fancy having a look at that. We'll let all tiers have access to that sort of thing, because there's a bunch of stuff. It'd be great. You get to see how the Chasing the Tail game got recorded. Really
that was
fun.
carnage.
That was
carnage.
So they may have
we need to
missed
stop
out.
helping people.
Yeah, we need to stop being generous and British on that front. But the peeps who get to witness the live Chaos recording every single week are JB, Kerry and Zachary, Barside 2, Mandy Croft, Mr. Mossam, Dean DHL, Damon Mac 08, and Miss Summer of 69, and Big Boy Baz, the Bovrils, to finish off this wonderful collection of thanks for the fantastic Patreon golden members. And there are two other folk who are instrumental and very golden when it comes to the Incensed podcast, the admin duo of the Italian and the Ninja. Two fantastic peeps who really do help with a lot of stuff behind the scenes and logistics and social media and everything like that. Thank you to both Francesco and Sue. Now, we are a bit more grateful than that soundbite tends to lean towards.
Yeah, that's not the best party blower, actually, is it?
No, well, it was downloaded for a sarcastic purpose, but maybe we'll find a more energetic one in the future.
I think we need to find a more energetic one, yeah.
We will do. But speaking of energetic...
Wait.
What? Yeah.
That's better.
That sort of works. Anyway, that is going to conclude episode 265, and yeah, we hope we can catch you all for 266.
Whoa, hang on there, Whitfield. Not so fast. I've got some good news.
What?
Well, Max Monday next week is Pikachu.
Hang on, there's an awesome Adam soundbite you could use.
Oh, there is.
Hey, it's me, Pikachu.
Perfect.
Guys, I've got some sad news.
What?
Spotlight Hour has gone.
Sad violin.
But Raid Hour is Zacian without its sword on March the 11th.
A swordless dog. Interesting. And on that hon-edgeless bombshell for Zacian, we do hope you enjoyed this, and we will hopefully catch you all next Sunday with 266 and some electrically good GoFest stuff.
And Arnie, because he would not been in tonight.
Get to the download.